Well, the first tribute concert we did with the New York Guitar Festival was Aerial Boundaries, a tribute to the late Michael Hedges. And I think what happened, the way I remember this, was we sat down and thought, if we could pick any three people to be on this concert to pay tribute to one of the most amazing and idiosyncratic guitarists to ever pick up the instrument, who would those three people be? And then we called those three people and they all said yes. I mean, it was just one of those times where everything comes together, and I think to our mutual amazement, it turned out that nobody had done anything like this. Michael had been dead for 2 years, I think. And to get George Winston, best known as a pianist, but who was a friend and a colleague and a collaborator with Michael Hedges, to get him to come in and play guitar was an interesting kind of programmatic choice, but then to have him bring Michael's former fiancée to come in and sing in a completely kind of, I don't want to say unprofessional, but, you know, with an untutored kind of voice to sing this lovely song about, you know, I'm not missing you. And, you know, it was just so bittersweet. There was hardly a dry eye in the house. And, you know, from a musicological point of view, you would never point to that song as a fine example of sterling music making, but boy, that was an emotional time in that hall, coming at the end of a concert where people were really remembering just how amazing this guy was and celebrating his work and his life. And Michael Manring, one of his closest collaborators and friends, just did a typically powerful set with his hyper bass guitar, which I'm sure I wasn't the only person who was put in mind of Michael Hedges and his odd harp guitar contraptions watching Michael playing his hyper bass. Pierre Bensusan, who was one of Michael's heroes, and who, you know, the two of them wrote pieces for each other, and to have Pierre there, remembering his friend and playing a set of pieces again that he had put together specifically for this program, was just it was just an extraordinary evening. We had the family there in the audience, and that was an event that really was more than the sum of its parts. You know, you can pick out pieces from each of the three sets and say, wow, those were really great. But to go back and actually listen to the tape of the whole evening, there was something going on in the hall that night that had more to do with who was playing what and who was saying what.